Hi guys, welcome to the 3D show. It's another week, it's another Friday. I'm your girl, your host, Desire. Thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, how was your Valentine's last week? I hope you enjoyed the show last week and you put all the tips that we gave you to use. I'm still waiting for the DMs. I'm still waiting for, the lowdown, which outfits you went for. Did you get the credit card wearing the outfit that I was going for? I will tell you how mine went later. You tell me yours, I will tell you mine. So, I hope everybody, had a wonderful week. It's so good to see everybody here. Straight to the hot topics for today. We only have one great hot topic. This one is personal to me because of all the hoo-ha going around in the British media. We have to stand up for our own. It is a great news. I'm sure all of you have heard it. During the week, I believe Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, title, right? Yes. So they've announced that they're expecting their second child, and it's great, not only because obviously they're royals and we're all obsessed with them, but I think a couple of weeks ago there was an article where she shared that she had had a miscarriage. So it's just nice to bounce back and have a healthy pregnancy going on, and hopefully we pray that she will carry it to full term and she will baby, and we can't wait to see how cute that baby is going to look. Excited for what's the first child's name? Archie, to have another sibling. They haven't actually announced whether it's a boy or girl, so I guess we'll find out when they do. But a big congratulations to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, wherever they are. We're sending you all the positivity and all the love. So guys, I have a great show. As always, I mean, there's never a dull moment on the 3D show, let's face it. I have a great guest in, she's actually in studio, but she's virtually here with us. Thanks to technology, she's joining us via Skype, but it's going to be a great show nevertheless. She's actually, I don't know how to, she's a friend in my head because she's just so cool. She seems to have everything together, and you know me, when I'm intrigued by you, I pull you onto the show so I can dig deeper and see which areas I can, learn from, pull from, and everything. She has a lot for all of us to learn from. We're going to be talking a lot about, being a mom and being a wife and all of that. But, all the men you can still watch because she's very, very smart. She's so intelligent. And not only that, she's a mom of two boys. Can you believe? I don't know how she's always that well put together with two boys in the house. I have one, and boy, am I struggling. But, stay tuned because we're going to find out all the secrets from her right after the break. So stay tuned. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce my guest and we will go straight into the conversation. We'll see you right back.
Offer, Major say, me oh,
that's my now only certificate here.
Offer, we are going to pay a certificate. Oh, offer.
Now, for part, you to come on certificate. You are not a certificate. ITS Pro Center. Share a family now. Share the particular yet 21. Gonna problem is a pay. And they are near. We have to stop for baby no for that's what my child. Would you pay money? Now, can you say, would do 12 bros? I would tell him. And sign that man any ITS Pro Center. ITS Pro Center. Me dey find it is pro. I just say bia ya. Ya teaching crop ya mount SIA license. Now bet me dey security. Now dey go pay adwuma. O hwe say dey na nkofo adwuma sign no wonya adwuma. Ba bia make am fama wo. Aye ITS Pro Center. And what any bet me amount here by 4 days perfect. Na on account certificate. Enti adati na esa was na ka chebe so wonya adwuma ye. ITS Pro Training Center no. Anya SIA nkwa na ye yo. Ye CSCS card so account. CSCS card so no. Just 1 day training pep. Na wo wie so a unsabesa account health and safety certificate so and do to why dey e dey nkrofo agya we omo wi omo training omo akwakọ charge ma se site e dey me gana for mo ti why dey and na ya what me kan mo dia na frey our sa numbers we so fa number no 079 04 68 6944 079 04 68 6944 Bomadi na free ni ya and now say 078 462 11172 078 462 11172 ITS Pro Training Center address 453 to 457 first floor Libridge Road E10 7E buses do one one fa Bomadi na brand ni ya enti amfa wo se wo yi oba so betimi awura construction na security enti wo dey frey na ye ka wo kasa ye sa to kasa so training center we na sakwe training center we to ya we some certificate now dey ko yi aduma.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. You're tuned into the 3D show with myself, Desire. Yeah, just before the break, I was just telling you about this wonderful guest I've got in studio. Well, I keep saying in studio, I keep forgetting we're in COVID time. So she's actually joining us via Skype. So I just want to read a little bit about her because, listen, she's so accomplished that I had to like get everything written down and, you know, just read it. So basically, her name is Fola. When I introduce her, I will let her say her surname because I don't think I can pronounce it properly, so I don't want to like just ruin it. So basically, Fola is actually a product manager at Bank Client Connectivity at Dutch Bank London. Her background is a bachelor's degree in computer science and a master's degree in information systems from the University of Sheffield. She has 12 experience in United Kingdom and proven track record in successfully leading high-profile business-driven regulatory infrastructure, digital and transformation initiatives within the financial services. She is the author of a non-fiction self-help book released end of 2018 called Not Just a Mum. And she's also a founder of Peacocks Can Fly, which is a social enterprise created in 2017 that brings together and connects professional women in the UK from all backgrounds through various professional workshops and networking events she organizes in London. So all of this, as if to say this is not enough to get her to have her hands full. She's actually a wife, a mom of 2 boys, aged 7 and 4. She's a homemaker and a mentor. She enjoys cooking for her family, planning theme parties and days out with kids. This is not just you know, something that she's just written down. I've been following her and trust me, she does all of this and then some. So the reason why I actually wanted to invite her onto the show, not because, you know, not just because she's a superwoman, but also because of the book that she has written. If you know me, you know that, you know, I'm a champion for women's empowerment, and, you know, I'm not a feminist because I just think we're too awesome being women. We don't need to try to be men. So I'm always trying to find ways to encourage women and to let them know that, you know, you can have it all. You can have the career, you can, you know, be the slay queen, you can still be a mom, and you can still have it. You know, and so it's always nice to have people are actually living these lives to come on and to show us how they're actually doing it. It's easy to read, you know, from personal, but, you know, it's one thing to also have your peer who is actually living this life day to day, to discuss the challenges and to discuss the joys and, you know, the defeats and the triumphs and, you know, just basically the reality of it all. So that's just the gist of what we're going to talk about. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties Don't worry. We're going to take a very big break. And when we come back, we will definitely have Folakemi on the show with us. I can't wait to actually let her say her name because to actually say it properly. So just give us 2 seconds, grab a hot drink, get comfortable, and we will be right back, okay?
Hi, Desire. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us on the 3D show. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Excellent. So very quickly, how do you say your last name?
Sebio Timo.
Sebio Timor. Wow. That's I've never heard that. What tribe is that from?
So it's originally from Nigeria, Yoruba.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice one. But we'll have that conversation off camera.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's get right to it. Listen, how are you juggling motherhood, banker, events, mentor, I cook, I like, how are you wearing all these hats on them? Christian Louboutin, stilettos, and you're balancing it. Your skin is great. Your hair is always laid. What is the magic, girl? Tell us.
Of my life, like everything I juggle, like I try to give my all to everything I'm doing at every point in time.
Yeah.
So and I get lots of support. You know, I have a great husband. I do have a living nanny. I would say those are the two things that really helps, and my faith in God definitely helps. You know, for those days when things are not going to plan or lose motivation, my faith really does help.
Okay, so basically, like one of the things I really wanted to ask you about, and I'm glad you brought it up, is the live-in nanny, because in the UK, not many people can afford it, or not many people want that. So what made you go that route? Is she related to you? Because I know you posted something on Instagram about how you didn't really like, not like her personally, but you didn't really gel with her to begin. But now it's okay.
Yes.
Like tell us how that came out.
You know what, Desire? I can actually write a full book on, you know, like the
Please
pros
do.
and cons of having a nanny and all the challenges I face, you know, working with a nanny in London, in the UK.
Yeah.
I've been quite fortunate, actually. So my current nanny, she's been with me for 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
And she's always lived in. So she lives in Mondays to Fridays. She leaves on the Friday evening, but as a result of the pandemic, she's been here with us since March of last year. So at the start of the pandemic, I actually said to her, you know what, I think myself and my husband, we are both going to be working from home. So I think we should be fine. Like, we don't need a nanny anymore. You know, I gave her a month's notice. And then she came back to me that actually, no, like, she doesn't want to leave us. You know, we are such a great family. She's had such a great time. And, you know, I discussed with my husband and, you know, we decided to keep her. And she's been with us, you know, throughout the pandemic, and it's turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
Oh, that's
how
good.
did I find that? I've always been quite fortunate. So, going back to 8 years ago, my older son is actually going to be 8 in 3 weeks' time. Yeah. So when I had my first son, so I took a full year maternity leave, right, from work. So I was at home for a full year. So when it was getting towards the end of my maternity leave, and I started thinking, okay, what do I do with childcare? At that point, I registered for a couple of, you know, nurseries, local nurseries, where I live in southeast of London, and I was on the waiting list for quite a few as well.
Right.
So and then let me explore this route of, you know, nanny, because I just felt like, you know, my baby was so precious to me. I wasn't so comfortable you know, taking my child to nursery where they can get exposed to, you know, chicken pox, like, you know, slap cheeks, measles, etc. So I just thought, okay, let me explore this route of, you know, nannying.
Do you know,
so I spoke to.
I'm glad you're speaking about this, because I feel like, especially, this might happen with, you know, other races and other communities, but I feel like when it comes to the African community, especially within the UK, I feel like we're kind of shamed to want to ask for help, because for me, I feel like we work so hard. Why should we play with the lives of our children? If you can afford it and you can accommodate such a thing, why should anybody tell you, oh, you're being lazy, you know, they'll come and steal your husband, or, you know, like, why can't you cook for your husband? And it's like, if there's room for that, why not just take advantage of it, and so you can enjoy all the other aspects of being a mom and being a wife. And so I'm glad you're talking about this.
Yeah, you know, this desire, like when I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, I wasn't judged by, you know, people, friends, family. And like throughout this journey, I've always had a nanny, apart from a period of 6 months that I was in between nannies, but I've literally always had a nanny in the last 8 years, right? And I've been shamed. I've had people tell me that, oh, like maybe your child's first word might be nanny, or, you know, the nanny's name.
How ridiculous.
I've had someone say that to me, right? But just going back to when the point I decided to have a nanny. So I had a really good community of friends, colleagues, within financial services, and quite a number of them actually had nannies and au pairs. So it was a very normal thing for like non-Black like friends, colleagues to have a nanny. Like it was just a norm, you know, back in 2012, 2013. All the moms that were working, that some of them were my mentor, they all had nanny. It was a very normal thing for, you know, other moms from non-Black community to have a nanny. I can be bold to say I was actually one of the very first of my African peers or friends to be bold enough to say, actually, I'm going with this nanny route, right? Because it wasn't really common back in 2013 to have a living nanny.
And
like
to be honest, it's still not that common. It's still not that common. It's still very frowned upon.
Correct. And to be honest, it's actually not as expensive as people, you know, think it is, that, oh, it's beyond me. Because if you're able to afford, like, for example, a Chanel bag or like a Louboutin, like, I don't see why you cannot, nanny. But I guess, you know, that's where priorities lie. So for me, I explored this nanny route. You know, I interviewed a couple of au pairs, etc., spoke to a couple of agencies that were referred to me by colleagues, friends, and eventually I was quite lucky that one of my uncle that lived locally, there was this lady in his church. She was, you know, quite young. She was actually same age as me. You know, she was trying to look for a nanny job, and you know, she came here the first time. I interviewed her with my husband, and we connected. And my son literally connected to her. My son was only 11 months, so I said, you know, okay, come try for a period of 3 weeks whilst I'm stay at home. You know, she taught her like all the routine and activities for my son. And this is history. That was how I ended up having my first nanny. And she was an African nanny, but she was awesome. She stayed here for 3.5 years.
So can I ask you, has having an au pair affected your bond with your children in any way?
Absolutely not. You know, as I said, I was one of those moms that I took a full year for my 2 kids, right? So I've always been that mom that's been 100% hands-on, right? And the thing is, if you think about it this way, I work 9 to 5, right? Apart from the pandemic, I go into work, I leave home for, you know, 7:45, get to, in most cases on the train. I work in Canary Wharf, get on the train, the days I don't drive, you know, get back home for 6. And my nanny shift ends 6:30, right? So the period when I'm working is when the nanny looks after my baby. So whether my child at that point was going into nursery or going to a childminder, they still have to be looked after by someone as long as I was working, right? You know, so it doesn't make any difference to whether you have a childminder or, you know, or you take them to a nursery. And my kids started nursery around like 14, 15 months anyway. So they went to nursery 3 days a week. But I always thought, you know what, by the time I weighed it, you know, if I had like a weekly cleaner that came once or twice a week, you know, and I had to maybe put them in either a full-time nursery or a childminder, the cost was not that different. So I just thought, you know what, I'll keep this nanny just for the sake of, okay, the days that, okay, the showings get delayed, I'm not back in time to collect them from the nursery, my husband is stuck out, etc. But the thing is, for me, like, every moment I spend with my child is so precious.
It's so precious, yes.
To the best time, you know, we have dinner together as a family. We read all the bedtime stories to them. Weekends, you know, I always plan an activity. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, outside of this pandemic, literally every weekend we are going to the park, we are going to a play center. You know, they do their regular activities.
So like basically, like having the nanny actually allows you to flourish as a mother and also as a wife more, because obviously like she's taken a certain level of the burden off of you, so you can actually have that peace of mind to actually flourish in these areas that, you know, otherwise you'll be so stressed out because you're, like you said, you'll be rushing home, cook, do this, and then on weekends you're burnt out.
Exactly. I mean, I think the key thing for me is as a wife, as a mom, the way I sat down, you know, this was several years back, I looked through my to-do list. What do I typically do in a day, you know, when I was on maternity leave, you know? I would do the cleaning, you know, clean the house, clean the toilet, clean the kitchen, do all my food prep, do the food shopping. I literally list down everything I did, and I thought, you know what, this set of activities are mundane, and someone like a nanny can actually do it. This set of things, if a nanny does it, it doesn't replace me as a mom or a wife, right?
It doesn't.
My nanny for my husband as an example, right? My nanny, you know, will not rarely ever does homework for my kids, you know. So there are some critical things that is my duty as a mom that I cannot relegate or delegate to anyone. But things like as you said, like the cleaning, you know, doing the laundry, folding the kids' clothes, ironing, tidying up their rooms, you know, cleaning the toilet. Those are things that someone can actually, you know, do for you as a mom, and that will make your life easier.
Exactly.
Joyful and a happier mom, you know, if you have that help. And if you think about it, Desire, like many of our moms, like 50s, 100 years ago, they've always had help, you know, like
back in Africa, isn't it? So
no mom is meant to do this, you know, motherhood thing alone by yourself without a spouse.
I think that's where the term "it takes a village" came from.
It's a village, absolutely. And we need to normalize the fact that it actually does take a village and more to raise children, even in 21st
But you know, it's very interesting how, like, with civilization and, you know, with our so-called intelligence and, you know, our becoming modern women and all of that, it's so strange how all of a sudden women, you know, our age now think, oh no, we have to be, you know, almost robots. And it's like, okay, why would you, like, on the one hand, we're fighting for, you know, what a man can do, we can do this, that. But then there's also help for you to actually have everything that you want and also be the mom. But then for some reason, we're just fighting against it. And it's like, what my question to you is, what do you think is making our generation so defensive? Because I feel like we're just fighting like some forces that I don't understand. Because like you have said, you can have it all. You can have the career, you can have, you know, the family if you want. But for some reason, we're just it's so interesting when you speak to some young women these days. What do you think? What do you think is causing that? What point do you think we want to prove? And to who?
I think it's just, you know, there's been a shift in the last, you know, 10 years plus where, you know, women, you know, we feel like we want to be equal to men, as I think you touched on that fact earlier. And, you know, there are many more women that, you know, they call themselves feminists in this day and age. And I just find that for me, I think you said that earlier, for me, I'm personally not a feminist, right? Or rather, you know, I definitely want to be paid the same, you know, the same way man will be paid, and I want to be able to vote. I want to be able to, do those basic things.
Right.
But when it comes to gender roles, I think for me, like I think many women kind of confuse things, right? Because for me, like I'm able to flourish as a female, as a woman, because I rely on the support of my husband as an example, right? And I'm able to ask for help. This whole concept of female superwoman, I just don't buy into it. But I think many women feel like they have to prove that they can, they're superwoman, they're alpha female, I don't need a man, etc. But if there's something that works for that female, good for that female.
Yes.
But for me, in this, side of the fence, I'm actually happy with the fact that my husband is able to, support me to get all the help I need. My husband wants me to thrive. He wants me to be happy.
I don't think it's taking anything away from you, is it? Like, the fact that your husband is supportive, and the fact that, like the two of you have agreed that, listen, we've both worked very hard for our careers. It's not fair for me to, just because we want kids, to sacrifice that. So if we're both in positions where we can agree, on somebody to help us with the home, not fully, not take over, but, help us so that we can also flourish. We can also, because at the end of the day, we I mean, what's the point of us going to school and going to uni and doing all of this if we're just going to become housewives? But then at the same time, we get to that point, and then all of a sudden, I don't want no other woman in my house. I don't want them taking over. I can be a mom. And it's like, calm down.
Yeah, we have nothing to prove.
Let's think outside of the box, And I think it's very interesting when you said having an au pair or a nanny was actually quite normal in your. Hi guys, welcome back to the show. Just before the show, we were discussing, this whole notion of the females in our generation just being so defensive and just thinking you cannot have it all. I've had a couple of women on the show who are live examples that you can have it all. And today I'm joined by Mrs. Banker, mummy, mentor, everything for Lakemi, and we're discussing the ways around like different ways in which you can have it all, and you don't have to sacrifice your career just because you're a mom or just because you're a wife. I actually want to discuss the book that you've written for Lakemi. So what inspired that? What inspired you to write that book? Where did you even find the time? Jesus Christ! Do you ever sleep?
Oh dear, no. I think when I had my first son back in 2013, that transition from being a regular lady, a regular working lady, to becoming a mom was quite drastic, right?
Because it's shocking, isn't it?
It's a big shock to my system, like I couldn't sleep through the night, I had to breastfeed. Like some days I'll get up and I won't have a shower till probably about 3 p.m. or, after my husband gets back at 7 p.m. sometimes, So it just felt like my life was completely taken away from me. And when I went back to work, I lost my sense of identity. I didn't even know who I was anymore.
Thank you. That happens.
I spent a year at home, so I wasn't interacting with that many adults, right? For that space of 1 year. So when I went back to work, like I just found out, oh my God, I've actually lost my self-confidence, you know? I couldn't even speak up in meetings, Some days I'll be worried that, is my son okay with the nanny? Is he fine? Is he sick? Is he eating? Like all those anxiety, like just about me. So, and I felt like, oh my God, like so many moms are dealing with the same thing. Because when I spoke to, colleagues that we had babies around the same time, whether in the workplace or through my baby group, they all complained about the same thing, how it's so daunting, this transition from being a regular woman to becoming a mom. And I thought, you know what, if I could write a book that will make women feel less lonely or less anxious the way I felt when I became a mom, I think that will really help other moms. So that was the reason I wrote the book. You know, I spoke to many other moms, got them to, you know, like share tips that help them, which is in the book. And it's helped lots of moms all over the world, right? And the tips from the moms, many of them are regular moms like me, like, you know, yourself, you know, day-to-day moms, like not those fancy. And to be honest, like many moms, as we said, always think, I think you were trying to say that like non-African like moms, they tend to, like, they get help when they need it. But it goes to show you that, you know, like regular day-to-day moms like myself, you know, I wasn't born with a silver spoon. My husband wasn't born with a silver spoon. I've always worked. You know, I studied hard. My husband studied hard. We built our career. Like, you can still have it all relatively, you know, season, right? So I think the book was a source of encouragement to new moms and moms, for them to know that A, they are not alone in this journey, and B, they can be successful as well. They can thrive, they can be happy, they can be joyful, you know, if they're able to, you know, come up with, you know, tips or routines that works for them in their own season, right? Because everyone's circumstance is different, and you always have to do what works for you. But you need to be able to, you know, try different things to see what works and what doesn't work.
And I think for me, what I got from the book and what I get from following you as well is one, obviously, just that, okay, everybody is, you know, going through it. And then also, you know, being a new mom, I'm very blessed. I have so much family around me. You know, I gave birth, I was in my mom's house for 3 months. Like, listen, so I'm the exception. But at the same time, obviously, going home and all of that, I had a couple of surgeries after I gave birth. So, you know, that's why. But going home, even now, my son's 13 months, it's nice to read, or it's nice to hear or see somebody, because, you know, you always think you're getting it wrong. Like, I always think I'm going to break my, or I'm going, you know, like I'm doing it wrong. So it's nice to read, you know, other people's experiences.
Absolutely.
It's nice to see that, okay, I've got this. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as I thought
you thought or you feel.
Or, you know,
absolutely.
all of that. So I think your book is very, very important. And, you know, I hope and I pray that a lot more new mums will get it. How do we get it, and from where?
So it's available on Amazon Global, right? You know, search for Not Just a Mom. Is there on Amazon. You can get it as a paperback copy that will be shipped, or you can get it as an ebook as well. It's in a couple of bookstores in the UK and Nigeria, but I think the easiest and quickest way is just to get it through Amazon.
Yeah. And I think it's not just a great mom.
I didn't get to answer your question.
Yeah.
So when it comes to how did I find the time to write the book?
Yes.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
So when it comes to that, so I had a period. So my husband, you know, also works in financial services alongside myself.
Okay.
So there was a period he was actually working in France, in Paris, for a period of about 8 months. So I just thought, you know what, like, for this period, you know, it will come on a Friday. In most cases, when it's in London, we, you know, do stuff when the kids are home, back in bed, like bedtime. We tend to maybe hang out, watch a movie, etc. But I thought, you know what, this time that is a way. Why don't I put this time to good use? Yes. I've always been writing. I've always had my blog. So I had my blog back in 2013 as just a space where I could connect with other moms, right? So I just thought, why don't I use this time between, say, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. to, you know, write like, you know, 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages. And before I knew it, within that space of 8 months, I was able to put the book together. You know, I was able to, you know, get someone like an editor, you know, get a publishing company, get someone to help me with the the graphic, etc. So I just put that time that which has not happened
that
since
little
then.
time, you made use of it.
Then, and I really have that chunk of time because you probably need like a year to. I mean, if you're a mom, you probably need at least a year to put a book together. So that was how I managed to write the book.
But I think, I mean, it's great. And just let me see. I think because of time, we would definitely we would love to have you back on the show. But just very quickly before we round up, you said something about obviously losing your self identity, and obviously like having to rebuild that self-confidence. And I feel like that's the part that they don't tell you when you become a mom. that's the gag, because you know, I being a new mom, you're a pro. So being a new mom, I am literally going through that now, because it's like, and then when you're a wife as well, it's like, oh my God, how do I now find the balance of, you know, falling in love with my body enough to avail myself to my husband, and then also, you know, preserving it, because now it's like, oh gosh, I'm breastfeeding, my boobies are for my child, and like, you know, okay, when I go out there in the world, can I still wear the same clothes? Do I need to change my wardrobe? Absolutely. You know, like do I need to change the way I speak because I'm now a mom? Can I dance the same way? It's like,
absolutely,
these are all the struggles that, you know, nobody talks about.
It's a daily battle, right? It never leaves you. You know,
so how are you finding how did you find the balance? Because you seem to have really worked your way through it. You've gone back to work. You found another avenue, which is becoming an author. I mean, talk us through it, please.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, we can end up having this chat for the next.
I'm telling you.
I would say what really.
But let's they have to buy the book to get. But just give us a few pointers.
I can just summarize. I think what really helped me was just to go back to my why. You know, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I back to work? Why did I become a mom? Why am I a wife? You know, why do I do all these things I do? And I had to go back to the drawing board to understand the impact is that I'm making in all these different areas of my life. I think that's what just helps me to, you know, put one foot in front of the other. You know, I'm not trying. I mean, when I went back to work, like I couldn't fit into any of my dresses, as an example, as you rightly said. You know, I had to, you know, buy new sets of clothes. You know, like I was always second guessing myself. Am I making the right decision, you know, for myself, for my child, for my home? You know, it just brings many more variables into the picture, right? Because before it was just you know, and then maybe you got married or you have a partner, and then now you have a baby, you know, you have to think about, you know, all these like caregivers, family, nursery. Just adds a lot to the mix, and those things can really impact on your self-confidence. You know, you can feel like desire France on Monday, and off I go, right? You know, I don't have to like wait for anyone to do that. But now, before I can do that, I will have to plan, you know, negotiate, you know, make sure everything is right at home. So it just brings another level of complexity to the mix. I'll say what really helped me just to understand my why.
The why,
and then and then put practical things in place to help me to thrive and to really understand that my life is now in seasons. Like I can't do 10 things at the same time the way I used to do before. You know, running marathon on a Saturday, you know, go like travel the next week. Like I can't really do all those things. Like just to manage my expectations in terms of what I'm able to do and cannot do.
Oh my gosh, what a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing you have been. Listen, you have to understand the why, you have to manage your expectations, and you also have to understand that your life is now in season. This is the season. Guys, you have been as blessed as I have been. Listen, I guarantee you, buy the book. You don't have to be a mom right now to buy the book. If it's something that, you know, you're thinking about in future, buy it. It will help you. It will prepare you to get there. You know, for the men as well, it understand, the changes that women go through and daily battles that we go through. So this book is not just for mums, it's for literally everybody. And trust me,
absolutely,
it is going to bless you, and it's going to just give you insight. It's going to give you insight. For the husbands, it will help you understand and
absolutely
and create a peace.
That's a very good point. I'm just sorry, I know we are running out of time now. But when I put this book together, my husband, he had to help me to edit it, right? He had to read the book. My brother had to read the book. My dad had to read the book.
Yeah.
And they came back and they all told me, oh my God, Falakemi, so you're actually not crazy. Like other women were going through the same thing. You were complaining about, like, oh my God, we are so sorry that we didn't, we're not sensitive enough to your feelings, your emotions, etc. I think it's a book that even partners, families, husbands, like everyone needs to read the book to understand that, like, Desire is not the only crazy person out there. There are lots of us that we just, some days you just don't feel like you're yourself, and you can take it out on your family, your partner, etc. But they have to be a bit more understanding and support you as much as possible.
Oh my God. And actually is even grateful, when people have had kids younger and the kids have grown up and then they're now starting life again, like give the book to your older child, because again, read the book and let everybody in your house that can read it, because it will help everybody understand how to relate to you, and I think it will bring everybody closer together.
Absolutely.
So, it's been you for like you said, we could talk for hours and hours, but we will save it for another week, because I'm definitely going to have you in studio so everybody can see how you slay after this lockdown is lifted. But just before we go, do you want to give a shout out to anybody? Any last words?
I just want to say, to all the great women and moms out there, I just want to tell you that you're doing such an amazing job. Trust your gut instinct. Like, any your feelings are valid. Your pain, your struggles, they are valid. Don't let anyone make you feel like, either you're too much, or like, are you the first person to have a baby? Like, you need to shut down those voices. Like, any way you feel is valid, and you need to be heard, and you need to get as much help, and you need to demand as much help and support as you can get. Like, this is no longer the era of the strong Black woman. I really actually hate that word, that term, strong Black woman.
Yes.
I'm not ready for it. Like, I'd rather see joyful, thriving, happy Black women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're tired of being strong. We want to be hugged as well. But thank you so much for joining the 3D. I'm so grateful for your patience and for your time. Please send my love to your boys, and a big thank you to your nanny for just there for you, and to our daddy as well, please. So
my husband, to be honest, is I don't know if you watch this, but it's been a huge blessing. It's like the best husband I can ever ask for. Always happy to see me thrive.
Yes.
And I'm sure when I go out now, my dinner will probably be waiting for me. So I'm just very thankful for that as well.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. Thank you. We salute you. Well, we're not going to take too much of your time. We're going to let you go now. But thank you so much for joining the show. Guys, we're going to take a very quick break. And when we come, I will round up the show. I know we're running a bit late, but just sit. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the 3D. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you were inspired as much as I was, or I am. Listen, they always say your network is your net worth. Surround yourself with people that will inspire you. Surround yourself with people that are doing great things, that are doing greater, better things than you, so you can grow as well. It was a pleasure having Falakemi with us, and all the gems that she dropped. The that stood out for me was just understanding that you are in season. Enjoy every season that you are in. My auntie Sarah always told me this, and that has been a driving force for me. A lot of us are just rushing. And when you get to a point, you're looking back like, oh my gosh, when I was young, I should have done this, or I wish I did this, but just take time, stop, take time and enjoy whatever season that you're in. If you're in a season of being single, enjoy. If you're in a season of being married, enjoy it. When you get to the season of being a mother, enjoy it. When you get to the season of being divorced, being widowed, what season it is, just trust that God is working together for your good. So enjoy every season that you're at. And just get the book, because trust me, it is going to help you, and it will open your eyes to a whole lot of things. You know, I'm glad that we're having these kind of conversations, because I think it's important not only for new mothers, but also, you know, our young generations that are thinking about, you know, future decisions, becoming mothers, becoming wives, becoming career women, and also just making it possible and letting them know that you can have it all, but it doesn't come without challenges. But you know, there are people that are doing it. I want everyone to go and read up on Indra Uni. She's actually the chairman for PepsiCo. She is my absolute mentor, because she is one of the she was one of the strongest men in the world, because to be in that position and also have a successful marriage and, you know, have a home. When you read up on her, I always think Kemi is the baby Indra, because, you know, they literally have found a balance for all of this. It's possible for all of us. So when you see other people, you know, doing it and achieving, don't think that, oh my God, they're special. You are special as well. You can have it all. Guys, it's been amazing. Another week on the show. Just remember, whatever decision you make today will always determine your destiny tomorrow. So in the work now, it's not every day, you know, gossip. It's not every day all this rubbish. Sometimes, you know, gossip, sometimes fun, sometimes do research, follow people that will inspire you, and, you know, all of that. So let's just bring it to a close. Have a great week, and I will see you next. Don't forget to mask up, stay home if you have to, and keep your distance from everybody. Till next week, good night and God bless.